Hello and welcome back, friends. If you're new around here, I'm Big Gator. If you came looking for the sharpest tennis bets, you're right where you belong. Right now, we're covering the Grand Slam, the U.S. Open, day one of round two. So pop in the comments, let me see what you're playing for today, and keep your eyes peeled for my pinned comment to see what I will be playing for today as well. If you do like the breakdowns of these matches, these videos belong. Please give the video a like. It's super helpful. I appreciate it. And if you would like to get my picks as soon as I upload, you can subscribe, turn on notifications, and you can play them as soon as they come up. If you also feel generous for any of the wins that you get, there's a link in the pinned comment if you would like to donate. It's just there if you would like to. And if you would like to join the community, watch some tennis, if you don't have access to some of the streams, you can come into my Discord. It's free. It's a bunch of people in there talking tennis all day and other sports if you would like to bet on other things. But with all of that said and done, what are we looking like for today? Well, we took Mochizuki's money line against Gaston. Right. Easy win there. And then we also went over 3.5 sets for Sonego versus Schoolcade. And it was a bit of a nail biter, but we did get it. Now, we had some certified smoke, which was Vitkopcheva under 2.5 aces. The number one in the world should be able to stop him from getting 3 aces, we thought. Gave up an ace in the last set just for no reason. Half tried to get it. He was just like, I'm beating this guy too badly. Let him get an ace. That's the type of shit I don't like. Don't like that from Jannik Sinner at all. I'm sorry. If you're the number one in the world, you should not be getting out-aced by everybody. This guy got the most aces he's gotten against anyone in the past month has been against Jannik Sinner. That's completely unacceptable. I'm sorry. I love you, Jannik, but you cannot let that happen again. That's ridiculous. You're the number one. This guy is... Anyway, we also went for Ahmad Medjedovic to win after giving up a set. It went to a fifth setter. He just couldn't do it. The boy's been playing all last week. I should have took that as a hint. We don't really... let's not touch people in the first round if they just played in a tournament the week before. Learning lesson. We learn every week. We learn every time we play. So, we'll put that into the back pocket. We did get our main slip to win. We just didn't get any certified smoke. So we're still very much so up this week. The U.S. Open's been doing us very well. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it today. I don't have too much time to go through them because it is early, but I want to make sure you guys have time to play them. So let's get into the very first match, and that's going to be Yuri Lehecka going against Tomas Etcheverry. And this will be their fourth head-to-head, first time on the hard courts. Etcheverry has actually beaten Lehecka more. They've only played on the clay, though. So, in 2025, he beat him in Hamburg. So, earlier this year, in the quarterfinals of Hamburg, Yuri lost 7-5, 6-3. But then Yuri beat him in Gstaad back in 2022, which is where both of their last matches were. Straight set wins. But there's always a 6-3 set somewhere. Always in the second set they play each other. It's always been straight set wins, but Etcheverry is not better than Lehecka on the hard courts as of today's time. Maybe on the clay, sure, but on the hard courts, there's about a 14% difference in win rate. Lehecka's 17-8. Etcheverry is 8-8. He got rid of Ugo Carabelli pretty convincingly. Bageling him in the last set was pretty crazy. Lehecka dropped a set to Borna Coric. So, I can see this one going over. I think both of these guys can definitely get a set, but I would lean more on Lehecka here. Maybe, like a minus 1.5 spread on this. So he's got to win by two sets. So maybe Yuri in 4. I don't know. It's a bit concerning. He hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been amazing to me. Etcheverry beating Ugo Carabelli doesn't mean much. Going to a tiebreak with Felix doesn't mean much. But beating Jerry Shang definitely means something. A little bit. Jerry Shang is not all the way back yet, but that was a great match he played. I still won't let that go. Now, he did lose to Cerundolo, but also could beat Griekspoor and Herbert, which doesn't mean much either. So I think Lehecka will get this done. I will hope so. He's minus 400 to win, so there's that. With the lapses that we do get from him, I could see Etcheverry maybe getting a set here, though. It's minus 148 for it to go to 4 or longer. I don't think I'll be touching that one today. We can move right along. Next, we have Brandon Nakashima going against Jerome Kim. And this is going to be their first head-to-head. Jerome Kim is ranked 173 going against Nakashima, who's ranked 31. So about 144 ranks apart. Nakashima's 15-10 this season on the hard court. He's been decent, but not amazing. Jerome Kim is 5-2. 14-4 last season on the hard. So definitely has a good hard court record, but he's been playing most of those at a challenger-ish level. He made it to the first round in Basel in Switzerland last year. But he lost to Ugo in 3 sets. As far as the hard courts this year, he's been undefeated, beating Ethan Quinn in 4 sets, Yibing Wu in straights, Michael Zhang in straights, Carlos Taberner in straights. Very impressive. Very, very impressive from Jerome Kim. And then we have Nakashima, who gave us the nail biter of the century. Same night as that Medvedev match. Went to a 5th set tiebreak. Does he have any more in the tank after that one? I wasn't truly too convinced at the performance I was getting from Nakashima, to be quite frank. The Young looked like if he had a little bit more in the tank, he could have gotten rid of Nakashima, and that was really, really worrying me. So I don't want to bet on him today. I do see him giving up a set. I don't know if he sharpens up more here or not. I don't know. But I would take him to drop a set today. I think that Jerome Kim has only dropped a set since being in the city of New York. I think he is good to take one from this guy. I would actually go on a set spread for him. I would take Jerome Kim plus 1.5 on the set spread. So he'll win at least 2 sets. Yeah, I would like that. And then we'll see what that's priced at. It's plus 230 to win. And he's plus 105 to win 2 sets. So his 1.5 plus set spread for Kim is plus money. I would look into that. But I wouldn't play it. I'm not going to play that today. I'm going to stay away from Nakashima. He did us a solid, and I'll take it as it is, and I'll keep it pushing. All right, next we have Novak Djokovic going against Zachary Svadja. And these guys obviously will be having their first head-to-head. Djokovic is going to be giving another surreal experience to another new player, playing the number 1 and the greatest of all time. Svadja is 22 years old. He's 18-13 on the hard court so far this year. That is 5 more wins than Djokovic has on the hard court, but also 8 more losses. Okay, so it looks like Svadja has... excuse me. He's been in New York and has yet to drop a set. Svadja has not dropped a single set. He went to Cincinnati, lost to Arthur Ferry in the qualies, lost in 3 there, but since then, he won the Lexington Challenger. He made it to the 2nd round of Wimbledon where he lost to Lehecka, who was in really good form. He won the Newport Challenger. This guy's been playing really good. He ended his grass season 14-3 this season. So Svadja is 33-19, not bad at all. Djokovic is still 27-9. I would think that a spread can get covered here by Svadja. Djokovic was looking a bit concerning. A bit concerning. The level that he was at was true Djokovic level, but he didn't look healthy. I don't know if it was like a breathing issue he was having, but he was visibly winded in that Lerner-Tien match. To the point where I thought that Lerner-Tien might be able to win due to retirement. I was betting on it at that point as I was watching. And he did not look safe to bet on. But you know better than me, or just as well as me, that betting against Novak Djokovic does not go well often. You'll be losing more money betting against him than betting on him. So, this is a weird position. I'm not betting against Djokovic. I'm more so betting that Svadja covers. Djokovic's aces are at fucking 14. Come on now. Like, be so serious. Against Tien, how many did he have? He had 7. Tien is one of the better returners out there, so 7 may just be the low point. Yeah, they have him at 13 aces. That is just not okay. Svadja, though. See how many aces he's been getting in New York. That boy had 14 aces against Piros. Only 3 against Häusler. Yeah, the people that he's been going through have not been very impressive. There's not been like one name that he's beaten recently that is in the top 50. So that's the only thing about his success so far. He hasn't really been battle tested with some of the greats. And this is going to be someone that is one of the greatest ever. So Djokovic, he's obviously the one that should be winning this match. I just, something about this match, I just want to stay away from it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe over total games. I don't like that number though, 31.5. It could go over, very well could go over, but I don't know. I think it could be longer than people think though. That's my only thing I can give you. I think it's going to be longer than people think. How long? I don't know. But we will move on. Next, we have João Fonseca going against Thomas Machac. First head-to-head, obviously. The 18-year-old Brazilian got through Kecmanovic in straight sets. Who saw that coming? Not me, honestly. Happy that he got it done. I was rooting for him, and there it is. Now we have Thomas Machac, who also only gave up 5 games against Luka Nardi. He beat him 6-3, 6-1, 6-1. Why is it that when we've been betting on Thomas Machac, he's been looking like shit? We took him against Opelka. He lost in Toronto in the second round. He's been losing in the second round everywhere. Does he get snipped here? The last time we've seen him in the third round was actually in Miami when he beat Opelka in straight sets. He won Acapulco this year. So, like, Thomas Machac is somebody that I don't know why. I don't know what happened to him. But his form just dropped. Fonseca, this is the furthest that he's gotten in the U.S. Open. I think this is his second time here. Going to 2 tie breaks against Kecmanovic. Interesting. This is going to be a good match. I would lean a little bit more on Thomas Machac here. The form, both of them haven't given up a set yet, but who's been more convincing? Luca Nardi is ranked what? 86? So, Kecmanovic is ranked what? 42? So Fonseca beat a top 40 player. Top 50 player, I'm sorry. Machac was going against Barbecue Chicken. How will he do against a top 50 player? That's the question today. How well does Machac play against a top 50 player? Because when he went against Mannarino, who wasn't a top 50 player, he lost. Mannarino's literally 11 ranks above Luca Nardi at 77. Opelka, he couldn't beat him. He's 67. Still haven't gotten to the top 50 yet. Lost to August Holmgren in the second round of Wimbledon. But beat Jumhur, ranked 61. Thomas Machac has not beaten a top 50 player in quite some time. That's a bit concerning. Sebastian Baez. That was the last guy he beat in the top 50. That was in fucking April. On the clay. Okay, whoever's chirping over here. I'm gonna have to chirp a little bit later. Sorry about that. Arnaldi is 64. Yeah, what are we talking about right now? This is a weird match as well. I'm excited for this one, but Machac has not beaten anyone in the top 50 since April. Now, this is going to be a new face in the top 50, but do we get some worry here? What do we think about this? Fonseca is 20-5 on the hard courts this season. Machac is 12-7. There's a 10% difference in win rate. Fonseca has a 76% win rate, but he's only played 50 matches professionally. It's kind of insane. He's 38-12. Fonseca on the hard court. It's pretty impressive. Machac is 85-42, which gives him a 67% win rate. Still impressive. But damn. How did we get Tommy last year in the U.S. Open? He did make it to the fourth round without dropping a set. He got through Goffin, Korda, and Fognini. So, Jack Draper was the biggest bane to his existence last year. But what was Sebastian Korda ranked last year? 75. He can't beat no top 50 people, bruh. He beat Mickelson last year in Tokyo. Mickelson was not a top 50 player back then. Now he's ranked 32. But he did beat Tommy Paul. Okay. So is Machac just good up until he has to play somebody like in the top 15? Like, I'm so confused. Because he beat Alcaraz and he beat Tommy Paul and lost to center in Shanghai. I'm so confused about this. He for surely should be able to beat Fonseca. With the people he's played against in his career. Fonseca shouldn't be someone that rudely awakens him, I feel. That's just how I feel, though. Fonseca is a dog. Plus 102. He's kind of a good dog to take at times. I'm not going to say he's the best to take. But, this is a tough one. I don't even know if I like over 3.5 sets. I would think it goes under 4. I mean, under 5. It's minus 340 for it to not go to a fifth setter. Weird. I don't know about this one, guys. It's not that I don't like. There's nothing here. Maybe total games, I guess. I still don't love that. Um, what is the line at? 31 maybe? 35? That's at though. It's at 38. Yeah, I would take it at 35.5. I think that's a decent play there. Fonseca went what? 26-9. That's 35. Ooh, that wouldn't hit. It would have to get four. It'd have to be a four setter. I don't know who I would bet on though here. That's the only thing. I don't know if I would take Machac or I would take Fonseca. Fonseca's too young to me to keep up at this level in a slam. Machac has been here before. A few times. So actually last year was the first time he actually made it into the draw, getting himself to the fourth round. So I would think the Machac continues this. I really would. He does have accolades like beating Yannick and beating Alcaraz, I'm sorry. But it has been recent. So I will probably be playing Thomas Machac on DraftKings today. Probably won't be putting any money on him outright, even though I would love to for this match. I just don't trust. I don't trust myself or the match enough to do that. Let's move on. Next, we have Rafael Collignon going against Casper Ruud. And this will be a match that I can safely say I will not be giving too much attention to. Casper Ruud, I could care less about how well Casper Ruud's been playing. He did win in straights against Sebastian Offner, as he should. He is ranked 12 in the world. Going against Collignon, who's 1-3 on the hard courts. It should be a win for Casper Ruud, but you never know with this guy. He seemingly is one of the most unreliable people to bet on in the sport. One of the nicest guys on tour, but I could care less about this match. On paper, he should win. He should always win every match that we talk about him in. But losing to Hachinov, Rinderknech in 3 is ridiculous. Losing to Cerundolo is ridiculous. Losing to Borges is ridiculous. Losing to Sinner 6-0, 6-1, and you're in the top 12 is a little bit ridiculous. So I just don't fancy Casper too much. And then bro was talking about how he don't like New York because it smells like weed. It smells like weed everywhere, bro. I don't know what that... I don't take any offense to it, but it's like, damn, you really like are one of those people that just like you speak up about smelling things? Okay. All right, Casper. So Collignon getting a set. I don't know if that's possible here. As far as win percentage on the hard courts, Casper Ruud's beating him by 0.4. So I'm staying away from it. The ranked 107 Belgian may have the edge on the Norwegian number 12. I will stay far away from it, as I said before. And our next match is going to be Cam Norrie going against Francisco Comesana. And, God, I love Comesana, man. He's been growing on me over the past few weeks. I like how he plays. And Comesana did have a little bit of an easy time. He dropped that first set to Mikkelsen, but came back and did the deed on him. And I was pretty happy when I saw that, honestly. He seems like he's here to play. Cam Norrie, he got a little bit lucky. He won the first 2 sets against Sebastian Korda, but Sebastian Korda retired. Thank goodness we took his money line, and we got our money back for that. But we see good performances from Cam Norrie in the Masters. Let's be frank. Not Masters, and in Grand Slams. He does play well in Grand Slams. This season, he's been playing pretty well in Grand Slams, except for Melbourne and the Australian Open. He lost in the first round to Berrettini, who we have not seen at all. And He got to the semis in Geneva on the clay, which is not a Grand Slam, but he made it to the 4th round in the French Open, beating Medvedev in the first round, Gomez and Fernley in the process to Djokovic, where he lost in straights. And then he made it to the quarterfinals in Wimbledon, where he lost to Alcaraz in straights, beating Nicolas Jarry, Matteo Bellucci, Francis Tiafoe, and Roberto Bautista Agut. Cam Norrie, after his loss in Cincinnati, losing to Bautista Agut, I think that he is reawoken for him to be beating Sebastian Korda the way he beat Sebastian Korda. Now we have Comesana, who did just play against Matteo Bellucci, who is also left-handed. He did lose 6-4, 6-3, so it does have me a little bit worried. And then Comesana did go against Corentin Moutet in Wimbledon in the first round and lost in straights. So him going against lefties just off of first glance is not too promising. This should be a Cam Norrie win here. Just looking at, I'm just going to go through as many other matches that he's had this year to see if there's any other lefties he's played against. Just to make sure. But I don't see any. So I would lean a little bit on Cam Norrie here just because of the history that Comesana has with lefties. I'm not touching Cam Norrie. He's been doing me wrong and doing me bad. Statistically, he makes the most sense to play. He's minus 215. It's an awesome price for him, truly. But I can't get past how he did us in Cincinnati, man. We'll move on, though. Next, we have Arthur Rinderknech going against Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. And these guys have played each other once before in Marseille on the indoor hard courts back in 2021. It ended in a 3-set victory for Rinderknech. Now it's going to be a little bit different. We have seen Rinderknech play really well against people in the top 15, top 20. But Foki is a different type of good here. I don't know if he has the wherewithal to keep up with Foki and the form he has. He looks like he's in. Foki is someone that we got to take him up until like round 4. Because when that tank of his starts to deplete, we know that we got some worry ahead of us. Those back-to-back retirements in Cincinnati and Toronto definitely still have me like a little bit worried in the back of my mind. But going against Rinderknech, someone who has been playing well. He did beat Carballes Baena and did get us that 4th set. But I can't. For the price they have on Alejandro, it's not worth it. Minus 450. Get the fuck up out of here. And the odds of him dropping a set, very likely. I'm sure they can go to a 4th set. But it's minus 128. It'd be a bit of a nail biter because if we do get a top-notch Foki, then we don't get a 4th set at all. And that's a fact. Him winning by X amount of games isn't really worth anything either. The spread is not worth shit. Yeah. Let's see. It going over total amount of games for Rinderknech. Let's see, 19.5. Him getting 20 games. He didn't seem to have any worries beating Shevchenko at all. Shevchenko is ranked what? 91? Rinderknech is ranked 82. If that's the level that he has to deal with, then it's going to be under 19.5 games. I don't know if we take that though. I don't know. That doesn't scream with confidence to me. So I'm gonna move on. Won't harp on that too long. Next we have Lloyd Harris going against Taylor Fritz. And this will be their third head-to-head. First time in 5 years. They played each other in the U.S. Open back in 2020. Taylor Fritz won 6-1, 6-3. In the first round of, not the U.S. Open, the Western and Southern Open. Whatever the fuck that is. Then Lloyd Harris won later that year in Antwerp, 7-5, 7-6. So very close. But Taylor Fritz did win in straight sets to Emilio Nava very convincingly. Lloyd Harris beat Sebastian Baez, who's been seemingly hard to beat, randomly. But he did lose to Reedy in qualies in Cincinnati. Fritz had lost to Ottman, which I think he gave that match up because he was trying to get here. So Taylor Fritz is going to be a super favorite. Nothing worth talking about here, unfortunately. He's minus 1250 to win. That's so annoying, man. Jesus Christ, that's so annoying. Like, if you want people to bet on these matches, you guys got to give people better prices for things. Like, don't even give us a price for Taylor Fritz if you win 2 cents for betting on him. Like, silly as hell, man. Minus 350 for him to win the first set. Like, come on. And if he doesn't win, like, that's the thing. You have to make it make sense. If he doesn't win, why would anyone have bet this to begin with? They're just adding cents to get a few cents back. It's not worth it. 19.5 total games for Taylor Fritz. Does he go over? Does he go under? I always have this hunch that whenever anyone plays Taylor Fritz, they can beat him. He just kind of has this like energy to him that looks like he can be beaten by anybody. That's why you don't really see me betting on Taylor Fritz often. Whenever I watch him play, I'm like, he could throw this right here. I don't know why no, I'm not betting on him. So I'm staying away from this one as well. If you guys play this one, good luck to you. I'm sure he wins, but there's no real value in anything unless you want to take him for a double fault, which I wouldn't want to do. Aces, which I wouldn't want to do. He did not have that many against Emilio Nava. He had 11, and he needs 17. Lloyd Harris, on the other hand, his aces against Sebastian Baez. He had 9, but he's projected to have 16, so maybe under 17 aces for Lloyd Harris. I would go with that. I found the value there. But if it ends up being a quick match or a long match, then we're probably in for it. But when Taylor Fritz played against Gio, how many aces did Gio have against him? He had 37. So maybe not the under. But who the fuck is Lloyd Harris, though? He's ranked 353 at this point. He's 6-6 in the hard court this season. Former 31 in the world as of 3 years ago. 70% winner on the hard courts, but only played 12 matches this year. He was 2-6 getting into the U.S. Open, and now he is 6-6 due to his wins. So, lost in a fifth setter to Ben Shelton last year in Wimbledon, but has not been playing too hot. Lost in the second round to Rublev. Beat Zizou Bergs in 3 tiebreaks and a 6-2 fourth set. I'm off this match. I don't care about that one. I don't know. There's nothing valuable there for me. But next we have something I do find a bit valuable. I think will be a good one to go over. We have Ben Bonzi going against Marcus Giron. And Bonzi is, without a doubt, in way better form than Marcus Giron. Giron did end up going to a 5-setter with Navone. Bonzi went to a 5-setter with Medvedev due to a circus and the antics that took place. The match was over in the first 3 sets, but Medvedev found a way to extend that match for us, which I'm forever grateful for. That was so huge. But anyway, we have Marcus Giron and Ben Bonzi. They both have lost 10 times in the hard court this season, but Bonzi has 2 more wins at 13. Giron, outside of this Navone win, mind you, he just played Navone literally in Winston-Salem and lost in straights. So the fact that he came back and won is definitely impressive. He bageled him in the opening set, and then gave up the third and fourth set just to come back and win. When to give the people a show, I guess, I don't know. But that shit's going to stop here. He's not going to be able to keep up with Ben Bonzi. I will say that with all confidence. The Frenchman is who I will be taking. For sure. Like, for sure. And he is priced at 114. This is the shit we are looking for, friends. This is what we do it for. This is what we do it for. So far, that's the only thing I like today. The Ben Bonzi money line is minus 117 or 114. Are you being so for real? That's lovely. That's fucking lovely. Bonzi is known to give upsets. He did upset Medvedev twice this year in the first round, which I still don't understand why they set that up that way. But he's beaten Medvedev twice in the first round and slams this year. Giron has barely made it past the first round. He beat Ugo Carabelli on the grass and then lost to Mensik in 4. Lost to Arthur Feast in 3 in Indian Wells, and then lost in the first round to Jordan Thompson in Miami. I just don't trust the form that he's in. I like Ben Bonzi. Let's not stick on this too long. Okay. So, our next match is going to be Luciano Darderi going against Elliot Spizziri. This is going to be their first head-to-head, but we did see Darderi looking pretty good against Rinky Hijikata. Which, I don't know if that means much. Spizziri did beat Dawsonic in straights. I figured he would. But he did lose to Lloyd Harris right before this in Cincinnati in qualies. Very interesting there as well. Darderi is someone that I would trust more off of the rank, obviously. He's almost 100 ranks beyond him. And the play style. He plays really gritty. And he plays hard. In Cincinnati, he wasn't looking too hot. But when we got him in Winston-Salem, that first match against Mac McDonald really showed me that his game actually does transfer over from clay to hard really well. And when he starts to work on that game, he's going to be a problem. That's my 2 cents on the matter. Him going against someone that is more or less a challenger level player. I think Darderi is going to get this done here. And he's priced in a really good price as well. Ben Bonzi and Luciano Darderi are plus 205 together to win. I like those odds a bit too much, to be quite frank with you. Yeah, I like that a lot today. But found the pick I like, so I'm going to move on. Okay, next we have Jakub Mensik going against Ugo Blanchet. And this is going to be their first head-to-head. Blanchet is ranked 164. Mensik is ranked 16. They are 6 years apart. Mensik only being 20 years old. He's 20-8 this season. Excuse me. He's 20-8 this season, going against Blanchet, who is 10-6. So far, he beat Madajan, Svadja, Popko, and Gojo on his way to round 2. So Blanchet hasn't been playing too badly. He did lose to Machac and that challenger in Poland right before this, and Grodisk. Didn't do too well in the first round in Toronto. Lost to Sefulin. I say that Mensik is going to just dog walk over him in this setup here. This is not a lineup favoring the Frenchman whatsoever. Minus 600 for Mensik to win. Of course it is. Not much in it there. If you wanted to take it with a set spread, maybe minus 1.5. It's probably not worth too much. It is plus money for Mensik to win in straights, though. I wouldn't go for that. He could drop a set, right? He could drop a set. But being able to beat Blanchet, being able to beat Madajan, I don't think that's going to be enough to be able to beat Mensik. So I don't know if that gets you a set or not. I just know that Mensik most likely wins this match. All right. Now we're getting to the thick of it. Our next match is going to be Big Foe. Francis Tiafoe going against Martin Damm Jr. Now, Martin Damm did beat Darwin Blanc, the 17-year-old Ben Shelton. Look-alike, 6'3", 6'4", 6'4". But Tiafoe is going to be going against this 21-year-old who's ranked 431. And it's going to be a snip show. I'm more than certain. Francis is going to get rid of this guy. But when he goes against people that he should be beating, it does get a little bit close for no reason. That's just a bit, right? I don't know if it's Tiafoe trying to give people a show or what, but Tiafoe winning in straights is minus 120. I guess that's fair here. I do actually like that today. I know that's not like really something that I say. He is going against somebody that hasn't given up a set yet. So he's a former 175 ranked player as of last year. He dropped significantly, but I would take Tiafoe in straights with the 12-8 record he has, but he is going against someone that's 36-10 on the hard courts this season. All have been mostly M15s, M25s, challenger level. I don't think this kid's ever been anywhere near the U.S. Open. Main draw. Yeah, this will be the first time I think this guy's in the main draw. So yeah, Tiafoe in straights. All right, next we have Jordan Thompson going against Adrian Mannarino. And these guys have played each other 10 times already. 6-4, Mannarino leads. And their last head-to-head was in Cincinnati, where Mannarino won 6-2, 6-2. He was in just ridiculous form. So The last time Thompson beat him was back in October of last year. And back in Washington last year as well, or the year before that. 4 straight sets on top of him. But most recently, Mannarino's been looking better. He beat Griekspoor with a bagel in the 3rd set. Jordan Thompson lost a set to Moutet. But he has gone through a lefty already. I don't know if the lefty that beat Tommy Paul in Cincinnati is the one that you really want to go against, because you did just see him in Cincinnati and he beat the dog shit out of you. So, do we get something different here? Out of their 10 head-to-heads, there's only been 2 matches that went over to a 3rd set. Crazy enough. So they really be playing straight sets here. And this is their first time playing in a Masters against each other, which is even crazier. They've been playing each other every year since 2017 and have yet to play each other in a Masters. I mean, a Grand Slam, I'm sorry. But let's look at the stats. They're playing early, so it's a little bit warmer out. The serve may be favoring Thompson just a bit, because he does have a decent serve. He had about 10 aces against Moutet. And Mannarino had... Obviously, he had a few. He had about 14 against Griekspoor. So, even though he's 10 and 12 this season, I do favor him a bit. But Jordan Thompson, this would only be his 3rd match on the hard court since coming back from Wimbledon. Mannarino has been getting those reps in. I just trust it a little bit more. I would take Mannarino maybe on the set spread here. So him getting the set is kind of like what I lean on. He's the favorite at -192. I don't love it just because of Jordan Thompson and their head-to-head history. He's beaten him before, but it's not like he's beaten him 6-2. It's 4-6. This is the first time it's going to be in a slam, though. So let's look at how JT did last year and U.S. Open. Mannarino only made it to the 2nd round, so it could all stop here for him. Thompson made it to the 4th round. He beat Lestien, Hurkacz, Arnaldi, and then lost to De Minaur. Last season, Mannarino lost to Goffin, but beat Shortage. So, I would say over 3.5 here. I'd say both of these guys get a set. I don't think Mannarino gets straight setted out the gym like that. If you wanted to take that, though, it is priced at plus 550 for Jordan Thompson to win in straights. Ridiculous. Yeah, I would say that they both get a set in that one. Who wins, I couldn't tell you. I would think Mannarino. But let's move on. Next, we have Jean-Leonard Struff going against Holger Rune. And this is going to be their 2nd head-to-head. Struff actually beat him 6-2, 6-0 in Munich on the clay last year. What the fuck is that? The 35-year-old German really put the authority on the Great Dane. The 22-year-old Great Dane. As far as form on the hard courts, though, night and day. Struff is 5-9. Holger is 15-7. I'm sure he's an outrageously big favorite here to win. Only 310. You've got to be shitting me. Holger didn't even give up a set to Botic van de Zandschulp. I don't think he's going to give up a set to Struff. Struff did beat McDonald and only dropped a set to him, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to get through Holger Rune. Yeah, he's ranked 144. Holger is ranked 11. Holger had 9 aces. Struff gave up 8, but also had 18. So that's something that's going to be coming into play. There's going to be a lot of aces in this one. 22.5 total aces, but the line is at. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. The game spread minus 4.5. I think if he can handle the serve, then he should be in good shape. And I think he'll be able to handle the serve. I like minus 4.5 for Holger, actually. He literally won by 5 games only in his last one, but it was a straight set win. So if he does drop a set, it will probably be a tiebreak. So if you want to take tie breaks for him as well, that's honestly a good thing. The last 2 matches both of these fellas have played have been tie breaks, so it is safe to say that it will be taking place in this one as well. It is priced at minus 150. So all right, let's move on. We only got 2 more left, and they are bangers. Next we have Matteo Bellucci going against Carlos Alcaraz. One of our favorite lefties going against Alki Davy. Big Carlitos. They actually had one head-to-head back in 2020. It went 6-2, 6-1 Alcaraz's way. Bellucci's 2 years older than Alcaraz, by the way. Bellucci's 8-10 this season on the hard court. Alcaraz is 17-4. They have a 12% win rate difference on the hard court. 66% for Bellucci, 78% for Alcaraz. Bellucci did get a next Machina. He did not finish that match against Shang because Shang retired, but he did get the win. So good for him. Looks like he's been getting some easy wins. He got the final win in Sumter from a retirement from Shevchenko. So he's been getting some good money out here for not having to do too much. Good job, Bellucci. Looking at the Opelka match, that was a bit funny, right? It was 3 sets. It was what we expected, but Opelka is just garbage. It's not that good right now. But let's check out Carlos Alcaraz's ability to beat lefties. Right? That's the one thing that's going to matter here. And on the hard courts. So let's look at who he's played on the hard courts that's lefties so far this season. He has not gone against anyone except Jack Draper, who he lost to in the semis in Indian Wells. Yoshihito Nishioka, he played against him in Melbourne in the second round. He beat him 6-0, 6-1, 6-4. Now, Nishioka is an angry person, so I don't know if that was just nerves in the first set, irritation in the second set, and then just losing in the third. I think it probably was that, to be honest, based on how he plays. But Bellucci had a terrible clay season. But managed to have a decent comeback on the hard court. Now, he was in the U.S. Open last year. He did make it only to the second round, where he lost to Chris O'Connell, but he did beat Stan Wawrinka in 3 sets, beating Machac, Gomez, and Mayo in the process of qualies. Just looking at Carlos's ability to play, man, lefties aren't really much of a problem for. He beat Cam Norrie, right, and Wimbledon earlier this year in straight sets. So lefties isn't the problem. That's not going to be a problem for him. Just wanted to check, though. And Alcaraz is minus 8,000 to win. Be so serious. Total aces in the match is at 13.5. How many did he get against Opelka? He had 4 against Opelka. Bellucci had 12 against Shang. I like the aces at 13.5. Am I tripping for that? I feel like we can get like a good 8 from Alcaraz and a good 5 or 6 from Bellucci. Alcaraz's line is at 8. Bellucci's aces are at 7, I think. So, I don't know. It'd be sick if Bellucci gets a set, but I don't see it happening. Maybe a tiebreak, but I wouldn't touch it. Bellucci to get a set is plus 172. Carlos to win 3-1 is plus 330. Him to win in straights is minus 300. Be so for real, bro. Yeah. Aces would be the fun thing to take here, but the spread is ridiculous. Minus 6.5 Alcaraz you could take. It's minus 400, so don't take it. It's just so annoying. So annoying. It's so annoying. All right, we'll move on to our very last match. And we're going to be putting money on this one for sure. You guys know what I'm doing. Our boy, Big Benzo, is back. Ben Shelton going against Pablo Carreno Busta. And this is going to be a second head-to-head. And funny enough, it's taking place in a slam. They played in the Australian Open earlier this year where Ben won in 4 sets. Pablo has been struggling. I think it's health. But he did win in straight sets against Ruiz. He lost against Baez, beat Nishioka 6-0, 6-3, and Winston-Salem. Shelton ever so convincingly beat Ignacio Buthe. He's 22-7 this season going against a 17-8 Carreno Busta. Like, don't count him out fully. The record is not that far off. He's only 5 wins off and 1 loss added to Ben's record this season. But he has lost to him. So, let's see what Ben is priced at. $14.50. Be so for real. It's plus 104 for Ben to drop a set. Ben to win in 3 is minus 300. Is minus 130. But him to win 3-1, which is what he did last time on the hard court against Pablo Carreno Busta this year, is plus 240. I would think that with the record that Pablo has, he could get a set off of Ben Shelton, but I would really think he could. And if I had to think one or the other, it's hard for me to say. I know it's going to be under 4. Under 5. It's definitely not going to a 5-setter. But Pablo getting the set is the difference of whether I parlay Tiafoe winning in straights with Ben winning in straights. If Ben doesn't win in straights, I wouldn't parlay it. But It'd be a fun ticket to go with. Ben Shelton and Tiafoe both winning in straights for minus money tickets. It's just not wise. Not something I do. But it is the Grand Slams. Who's to say that I wouldn't do it? It's the only place where you can get his money at where it matters is him literally winning. Let me see. Let's see what the spread is at minus 5.5 for Ben. Minus 280. Now that's a parlay piece. Now that way he can just win every set by breaking. And if he does lose a set, actually, I don't love that either. I don't love that either. I would love to take Ben today. Ooh, player market. Does he go to 20 games? Does he get pushed to 20 games? Now, what would that require? 2 sets out of the 3 that he plays have to get pushed to a 5th game by Pablo Carreno Busta. That's the only way it hits. And they went to a tiebreak that he lost. Other than that, every set was 6-3, 6-3, 6-4. So he essentially won by 9 games, right? That means he covers the spread 5.5 with flying colors, truly. And the form that he has been in recently, it should be that. It should be that. So I've convinced myself back into that bet. I think his spread. We might go for the smoke for him today. Yeah, fuck it. We're gonna do Ben Smoke plus 106 for him to win minus 7.5. We're gonna play that today. I think I'm gonna play that today. I'll look into it a little deeper to make sure it makes sense, but I think I like that for today. And that is everything. These matches go on in about an hour or so. But actually, everything I'm looking to play today doesn't happen until 1 p.m. So if you're seeing this, you should have plenty of time to play everything. Yeah. I don't have much of a idea for any of the matches happening before 1 p.m. I don't love them too much to bet on them, so that's just me. That's just me. If you guys do end up playing anything before 1 o'clock, let me know what you are going with. I'm super excited. And please keep your eyes peeled because this is coming up very soon. You're seeing it now, so. But thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in round 2, day 2, and see you tomorrow. Be well and bet smart.